Good evening, fans of Rando, and welcome to another presentation of the 2025 Link to the Past Randomizer main tourney. This is a Group F casual boots match between Gylgamesh and Keaton. I am Taylor116. Hello. Sorry for the little bit of delay. Z1 was running one of their randomizer races, and it was a really, really good one. If you did catch the end of it, it is definitely a VOD worth checking out. But both our runners have readied up in the race room, and here in a few seconds, we'll go ahead and start off. I'll give an immediate shout out to Daniel Co, who is going to be doing tracking for us. Thank you so very much. Any second now. Okay, we're a little bit behind. It looks like we're going to be about a minute behind the actual race time. I'm not sure why, but it's fine. We're going to deal with it and be happy about it. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. All right, casual boots. So we're going to do a nice, fun standard start. Nice mirror. So our runners are going to start with boots and a sword. Even though that sword's not out on our sprites right now, it still counts as us having it, so we can dash through these bushes. And this first hit with the mirror should be sub 5 minutes for our runners. We're going to just do the basic opening. We're going to go to Thragor Castle, get down to Zelda Cell, and get her to the Sanctuary to safety. This is kind of like Rando Runner's first mode. Is kind of like the open or the casual boots, so we'll see a lot of execution strengths here while we're like about to play. Right, this the cropping and everything was kind of done on the fly. If someone in chat can just give me a heads up if I sound okay, too loud, too soft, if the music sounds okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I see both runners going for this nice spin strat. It knocks that blue guard toward that door you have to go through anyway, so you can just get the key and go through the door as quickly as possible. A lot of the escape sequence, especially in casual boots, has a lot to do with knowing your dash lines, knowing the enemy movements and how they go. You know, getting these kills as quick as possible in the most efficient way to get through these kill rooms. In this case scenario, starting with that early mirror, remembering, oh, after I get Zelda, I can just mirror to the front and save myself an insane amount of time. Right, excellent chat. And Zaf, you know I would never tell you no. So, do with that what you will. Gylgamesh doing his best to show us that even if the green guard always has a half heart, with green mail, the ball and chain guard will do a whole heart. Thank you. Keaton going to take a couple seconds to grab a couple pot hearts to play a little bit safe. I will never, ever say that that's a bad thing. Play your safeties. You know, if you feel like you need to grab a heart, grab a heart. If you have a potion you need to use it, use it. Anything is faster than dying. Both runners, though, remembering that we do have the mirror for our benefit, so nice. map. We've already got the key early, so it's items the rest of the way. No bombs have dropped yet for the back of escape. Having boots makes it kind of irrelevant now. We can just bonk that wall, but it may have, you know, if we could get some bombs in here to speed up Kakariko a little bit instead of having to bonk rocks, that'd be great. Okay, all the excitement seems to be at the very first check having that mirror. Kind of boring there on out. We did get the mushroom. I wouldn't expect to see either runner go turn that in immediately. Want to hang on to it for a little bit and just rush Kakariko would be my guess. But, you know, we've seen crazier things. I tend to believe that an early mushroom means there has to be something there. It's definitely not the case all the time, but a solid 4-14 from Gylgamesh. The doubters are in shambles. There's a flute. Yeah, we're definitely going to Kakariko now. All right, Keaton through with a 335. I am very familiar with Gylgamesh and their routing style and how they play. We've been friends for quite a while. Keaton, I believe, a relatively new runner. I'm not sure what their experience is, if they were in the Mentor Tournament, if this is their first year running or just their first year in the tournament. So it'll be very interesting to see how they've progressed and how they decide to route, and if maybe they chose to do maybe an unconventional tactic or strategy that can net them something kind of off the beaten path. Nice Fire Rod just hanging out in the woods. Seems dangerous, but fine. Nothing in Lumberjack, so don't have to worry about that today. Gylgamesh decided to save and quit. Looks like maybe trying to farm bombs south of the Grove before going into Kakariko. There's a bomb pile right next to the fortune teller that if you bonk it from the side will always drop a bomb. These bushes are more 50-50. One out of 4. It's fine. Keaton demonstrating that the bomb is always in the pile. And Keaton also was able to pull a bomb from the pickle earlier. Nice Master Sword hanging out in the library. Aga intensifies. Bottle. Always nice to have a bottle in Kakariko. Bow, sure. I don't think we've seen a map check Samaria. Just give him the whole stinking seat at this point. Wow. Okay, some extra money. Sure, no problem. So we can get the bottle vendor. Bottle, flute, bottle vendor money all in Kakariko. That's absolutely delicious. Still a lack of bombs, so Gylgamesh is going to have to go make a purchase now. See if Keaton can spike some bombs, or if they're going to have to make a purchase when they go south of the town as well. Okay. Book and a lamp. No big deal. It's just your casual rando scene of bow, fire rod, lamp, boots, hook shot. What is this scene? Alright, and no bombs in Kakariko at all, so both runners are gonna have to make a purchase here. Alright, there's a map check at least. I saw a red crystal, Eastern, Pendant, Hera, and then, okay, both red crystals in the light world at Eastern and Desert. Oh, I'm sure there's just like a glove and a hammer in Mini Build Arm Cave or something crazy. Yeah, Hera was the pendant. Having a flute and a lamp and a bow, I can see both runners just zipping right over to the eastern area and knocking that part out. Yep, big fan of this play for Gylgamesh here. You have to do crystals anyway. Master Sword, Lamp, Bow, it's not going to get any faster. Just go take care of it. Yeah, and I was worried about that. Keaton kind of passed by the flute spot, like thinking about having to buy bombs, and never went back to go get it. So has to go back into town and activate that flute. Gylgamesh using some hook speed to get past these stairs and into Eastern Palace. Keaton getting their map check, and I would guess probably joining Gylgamesh over here. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Between Eastern Palace being and the crystal that you can get and Saha, there's 6 checks over here. It's going to be required anyway. I'm a little surprised that both runners... Oh, I guess without a glove, that makes a lot of sense. I was going to say, I'm a little surprised both runners decided to do this before Eastern, but without a glove and being able to go up that right side staircase, you really didn't have a choice. So, never mind, they're smart, I'm dumb. Gylgamesh finding the compass to this dungeon, and unlike the far superior mode Enemizer, the compass in this mode does nothing significant. I'm sure it does something. It's just not significant. It's early enough that even with blue mail, we're not sad to see a boss art. Sure, it just makes the future better. So both of our runners tearing through this crystal dungeon. No problem. Well experienced enough to be able to get through here with little difficulty. And then we'll see where they want to go next. They can go to the mountain and do some stuff up there if they want. They can do a South Shore route. May put off doing anything like fake flippering until they have some more cash, but could definitely get, you know, the dam, mini Moldarm Cave, Ice Shroud Cave, even go Agina, lol. Very nice quick kill from Gylgamesh there. And yeah, at 14:25, there's Crystal 1 in the bag. Yep, very well executed by Gylgamesh there. Keyton right on their heels. Through the big key chest is now going to go into the back dark portion of this dungeon and follow up with their kill as well. Sure, another heart container. Why not? There was a possibility to hold on to that mushroom and potentially do a fake powder if we found the hammer. But Gylgamesh deciding, no, I am in no need of such trivial things. There's some Zora money. Might see them go all the way around now. A fake flipper, especially with boots, being able to water walk, kind of a popular strat you can do. Alright, Keyton getting both red Igors, now going to come in here and handle their Armos fight, while Gylgamesh dips into mini Moldarm Cave. Master Sword, beams, or hook shot. Very easy to be able to handle this room. Kill these 4 enemies and go get the 4 chests and NPC item in the back. Keyton got tagged a little bit by an Armos, and so kind of messed up their setup for the quick kill, but still able to recover very well and grab their first crystal. Mini Moldarm Cave today, trying to campaign to be the new hype cave because it's trash. Alright, another change of clothing, just hanging out in the Ice Shroud Cave. So not only are our runners super equipped with some nice utility items, they now have the best armor in the game. And 2 bottles. And a cape. Super generous game today. So yeah, we're seeing Gylgamesh here storing a water walk, or having a water walk, gonna skip across the water super fast. Choosing not to do the man under the bridge, not having the Moon Pearl to be able to get their water walk state back from going into this cave from swimming, decided to do this first. Very smart heads-up play. Nice glove, just hanging out over here on the Zora ledge. Keyton decided to go another idea and take it up to the mountain here. Alright, so we see Gylgamesh dropping some bombs. So what has happened is, since they have beaten the Armos Knights, there's something about a variable that kind of gets thrown off a little bit. And so, by shooting so many arrows at once, so they've dropped some bombs to try to reset that variable. Then they're going to shoot 3 arrows, drop 2 bombs, and it overloads all the sprites on the screen, or it's supposed to. And so it deletes the splash animation, and by doing that, it allows the game gets confused, and without the splash animation, it thinks, oh, you're just, you know, you got the flippers, you can swim, it's fine. And that's how you can fake flipper. Very well done. First try every time. And that's an out-of-logic glove, but it would not surprise me if we just saw flippers sitting up here in Paradox or something. Gylgamesh is going to come over here and check out the desert area. Desert Palace is required, and now that with that glove, they were able to full clear this dungeon, and will do so. Nice Tempered Sword hanging out in lower Paradox for Keyton. Alright, heart container, $100 bill. Piece of heart, another heart container. It's plenty healthy this seed, but yeah, nothing groundbreaking in Paradox as of right now. Okay, it's 1 item. Nothing on the floating island. And you see Keyton go through this spike cave. Nice vanilla binky in desert. Alright, 40 bucks in items in desert. So nothing exciting here, but will be another red crystal. Keyton mopping up some of these one-off checks, and Keyton just having a shield. Unfortunate find. Probably looking for something a little more valuable there. Gylgamesh coming into the landmost fight with Fire Rod. Shouldn't be an issue. And 6 shots and done. That's how you do it. Well done. So Keyton being on this side of the world is going to go ahead and come into desert. It's going to be a little unfortunate not having a glove to be able to finish this. I'm sure they're just hoping to find some kind of progression or even potentially a glove in here. Unfortunately, going to be very disappointed. There's one item. See, Gil starting back at Link's house. We'll probably just head to the mountain now. Did kill not do the sick kid? Yay, the value. Yeah, I think Gil had gotten their bottle on a blind sight and then just saved and quit out of there, so it's fine. A little flip-flop of rolls. Gylgamesh gonna hang out in the mountain for a little bit and find all the value, quote-unquote, that Keaton had already found. I found a sword. But yeah, with the possibilities of items dwindling by the minute, I would suspect that Gylgamesh will go ahead and dip into Hera where Keaton decided to avoid it being a pendant. Never mind, they're back. Alright, map check from Gylgamesh here. We got a Pendant Pod and Green Pendant Skullwoods. Pendant Pod, of course. There are those flippers. That glove and logic right now. Oh, nice mitts. And that's enough for Gylgamesh to go ahead and just drop out and say, no, that's enough for me. Gylgamesh is going to show us how to get through. That's right, you have no hammer, my guy. So Gylgamesh getting one item out of the pair is going to drop out and go check the Paradox if they've not done this yet. Nice spread setup for the Herapot there by Keaton. Keaton does not know about the other glove that's just sitting on Zora's ledge. May get over there in a little bit. But nice rod. Well, it might be a little bit before Gylgamesh gets back to get that. Because when Gylgamesh finishes up here, they may do something like Super Bunny. They know that the Pearl can't be there, so potentially not, and they won't be able to get Hookshot Cave while they're up here, so there's not a lot of value in that play. So my guess is after this, Gylgamesh will be heading to Aga. Oh, yeah, actually, shout out to Pinchu in chat. That's actually a good shout. Pearl hanging out in checkerboard is absolutely a possibility. Oh, and there is the man under the bridge. Gylgamesh did decided not to do this so they wouldn't lose their water walk state. But having the flippers, King doesn't have to worry about that, so... We'll see if Gylgamesh wants to go back and get those one-off checks or just decide Aga is the play. Yeah, I think the checkerboard play here is absolutely the right call. There have been plenty of times where we've seen mirror mitts with the Pearl just hanging out in checkerboard. Could do some fun mirror shenanigans to get into Mire Shed here if they want to, and I wouldn't be against that either. We're going to need an Ether Medallion. There you go. Nice job. Activating that mirror on the same frame that you go into the door lets you activate kind of a link state to be able to open chests and dash, and doing that lets you get those items out of Mire Shed instead of having to come back for them later. So, well done. Nice little trick there by Gylgamesh, showing the experience. Yeah, Gylgamesh, when they were in the mountain, went into Hera first and had not done Paradox. Yep, and there's that pearl we were talking about. Had not done Paradox at that point, and so decided, okay, well, one good item out of Hera, that's going to be enough. What are the odds that there's two here? And the Mitts gets them a lot with a pearl, and just decided to bail out. So yeah, having Mitts and a pearl and a very stacked loadout, we'll see Gylgamesh go into Dark World now. We'll see how far they want to go, if at all, into Skull Woods. It is Green Pendant. They do have a Fire Rod and can beat it immediately. Not a super long dungeon, so if you want to be safe and thorough, you can. Keyton just getting absolutely burnt, like, absolutely just getting harassed by that that bird just beating on him. Red Mail doing the work there, keeping them alive so they can come over here and grab their pearl. There you go. Not too bad of a fight for Gylgamesh. Go ahead and kill them off. Gonna grab their green pendant. And Keyton having their Dark World kit. Gonna go ahead and follow them in through this portal. Yeah, I had the opportunity when they had gotten the pearl to maybe just do the back of Desert and finish it off. But we know that Mire is required. They're gonna have to go back to that area later. It may just be something they're saving. And Pet is dead. Alright, little high five from my runners there as they switch positions in the Skull Woods. And it looks like we're going to see Keyton go ahead and head to the back and knock out Mothula for the green pendant as well. Both our runners playing a little bit thorough. With the equipment that they have and, you know, where they're having to start anyway with just having mitts. Oh, maybe not. No, Keyton says not worth it. All right, 50 bucks in arrows just hanging out in Skull Woods today. We'll see if the green pin provides any value later. Yeah, we'll see Gylgamesh go over here, check Bumper Ledge item, probably go to Graveyard Ledge as well. They haven't got King's Tomb, so they might grab it there. Just round out these really annoying one-off north checks before heading into Vu and Thieves Town. Yeah, between both our runners, it kind of looks like, you know, barring the medallion for TR, we're looking for Ether Hammer. I'm wondering if either runner is thinking along the lines of, I should go up to TR and check that medallion so I know exactly what I'm looking for. I wonder if that's crossed any of their minds. I could kind of see that here with Gylgamesh, you know, do King's Tomb, you know, fly back up to the mountain, do your checks, fly back down to Vu for an easy back into the portal. Keyton says they have no time for Graveyard Ledge, though, and is going to skip it and just go into Vu proper. Yeah, Gylgamesh going to continue north, go and grab the Catfish, and maybe not even down in a Pyramid Fairy if they really want to get all the one-offs out of the way. I know we've mentioned that Gylgamesh may have a potential problem finding that Ice Rod later. The nice thing about it is, if they decide they would just want to go into TR hoping the Ice Rod is in its vacation home, they may think, oh, I'm on the mountain finally, let me go into Hera and get this last item in case that's it. So there's a potential out. It's just how much time do they devote to other checks before that could really be what sinks them. Brewery having the last sword. The Catfish having nothing of value. Alright, Gylgamesh going to grab these checks and then head in behind Keyton into Thieves Town. Okay, Bombos is nice. We're not sad to see medallions at this point. We know we need Ether, but the more the merrier. It kind of eliminates that problem later. Silver's just hanging out in here. So that is 2 items. So there are 2 items in the back. There's the potential for the hammer to not be necessary for an item, maybe still logically required, but meh. Best boomerang. Alright, just the map in the blind cell, so it's a kind of a 50-50 now whether there's an item in the big chest. But when's the last time the big chest of Thieves Town hurt someone? Like, honestly. What are the odds, even? Alright, Keen working through their blind fight. On to phase 3. Gonna pop that cape. Yep, that's one of the things we were talking about earlier. If you've got safeties, just use them. There's no shame in that. You don't get extra points at the end of the race if you decide to not use your safeties. It is a compass on blind, so there is an item in the big chest. We know it cannot be hammer, but it could be the ether we're looking for. Keaton briefly ties up the crystal count, and we'll see them, I would guess, continue south now. What up, shit? I see you. So, red mail, 4 swords, silver arrows. Runner's definitely not hurting for the offense. $22, $23. Alright, so it looks like 23 for some bombs. Exciting. The value. Runners deciding to wave to one another yet again as they pass. Like ships in the night. Yeah, the start of this scene so far, kind of 42 minutes in, is there's a lot of very front-loaded items, and routing kind of really leaned toward Gylgamesh's route to effectively get as much clear as possible in an effective manner. Keaton dipping into desert, not having a glove that Gylgamesh had gotten out of logic at the time. Both runners going to the mountain, but Gylgamesh deciding to go beat Monthular for the green pendant and not get both items out of Hera. Go trekking Graveyard Ledge, where Keaton had skipped those things to kind of put them both back on very even footing. Keaton, despite getting into Thieves Town first, you can kind of see Gylgamesh just kind of making up that space with strong execution and excellent routing. So it'd be very interesting to see if some of the things that Keaton skips that Gylgamesh decides to do to be thorough and efficient kind of makes the difference at the end of the scene. Okay, King gonna give us our first look at the Hype Cave. I'm sure it will have hype, right? It has to. It's called Hype Cave. It is the most hype of caves. Be blessed. Be blessed, runners. 'Tis the kiss of heaven. Oh yeah, powder's there too, I guess. Hey, we need that. Yeah, there is a potential hammer go mode at this point. We're not quite sure what the medallion for TR is at this point. Yeah, we're going to see Gylgamesh going to go ahead and enter Swamp Palace without the hammer, but, I mean, we have ways around that now, so who cares? But it honestly might give them a hint, you know, if Quake is in here. Well, no, I mean, you couldn't get to TR without a hammer anyway. And we have basically everything open to us. So you're not going to get a lot of value out of this. So I can see both runners, if they're, you know, kind of paying attention to what's where and why and when, just skipping right to the back of this dungeon. Unless hammer is in the very first or second check, I guess. Okay, so yeah, hammer's not going to be in Swamp Palace now, and you're 2/3 the way there for TR when it comes to medallion. So I could definitely see Gylgamesh just absolutely skipping to the back of this dungeon. Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree, Pichu, that you would check the chests that are on the way, but you're not digging this for. Though I guess Gylgamesh is still missing the Ice Rod. We'll see how thorough they want to be. I think skipping left side swamp here is not a bad choice. If I'm running this seed, keyton trying to pull off this Specky clip and just kind of keeps. There, they got it. Had that bomb selected, it kind of threw everything off when they tried to hookshot. Who among us has not done such things? If I'm running this seed, though, I'm really thinking I want to go to Dark Mountain and see what I need for Turtle Rock. Again, maybe not for Gylgamesh, as they're still needing the Ice Rod. Maybe that's not so prevalent in their mind. But yeah, for Keyton, though, I would. You know, because if Hammer's just sitting up in Hookshot Cave. Swamp Palace in chat with the insider info. Swamp Palace, always a pleasure to see you. You're one of my favorite dungeons. I go to bat for you quite often by going in here insanely early. If I hit Dark World with stuff to go into Swamp Palace, even if it's a pendant, I feel pretty justified in going in. Keyton trying to work their way through this diver down. Not quite getting that right input in all the way when they're diving in. Gonna reset the block here. Blink if you miss it, Gylgamesh just handling Argus. Okay, well, never mind what I was saying about that whole TR nonsense. We're covered. Where's the hammer? All right, chat. I know this is the stuff you live for. We know it's not the pedestal, so get your hearts into a nicer place. Where is the hammer? I want to feed off your tears. Tell me where the hammer is, and go. I like Hammer on Magic Bat. That's saucy. The Ice Rod is in the compass chest of Hera. Both runners went into Hera and got the mitts out of the lobby chest. Gylgamesh, who had not done Paradox Cave at the time, decided that was enough and left. And then immediately, or almost immediately, found their Moon Pearl right after. Keyton, who had already done Paradox, decided, no, I'm going to keep going, and found it immediately afterwards. Nice bomb dupe there by Gylgamesh. I am not brave enough for such things. Yes. Boxmeister in chat. Those are both items. Alright, Keyton knocking down their Argus. We'll see what they want to go next. Keyton still needs to finish off Desert. Might see them just go for a Desert Mire play here. Pyramid Ledge not having the goods today. I kind of was thinking that Hammer was just going to be sitting in Pyramid Fairy just to be saucy, but no, not today. Keyton getting there, Mire Shed. Keyton already has both items. Yeah, Keyton has both items out of Desert, so this would just be a dip to the back to finish it. Gylgamesh, who skipped the man on the bridge earlier, is going to go ahead and grab this check just to clean it up. I like this play. Gylgamesh is going to come up here, has the green pendant, might see them just turn it in and leave. Could also just be a dip into pendant pot if they want to, if they feel like the Hammer could just be in a really dumb place. And green pendant, not the answer. Saw cares not for your petty needs and demands you get off his lawn. Alright, nice arrow strats from Keyton there to drop down the Land Molus. Grab their compass, yay. But more importantly, bag that 4th crystal. And tie up the crystal count yet again. Alright, Keyton finished off with Desert. Gonna pull out their Ether Medallion and head into the Misery Mire. While Gylgamesh wants to explore Pendant Pod, choosing to believe. Something pod. Alright, check one here in Mire. Just a small key. Upper to pod doing normal front of pod things. Here, you want keys? I have your keys. Here's some keys for your keys. Okay. Pinky for Meyer just sitting in the spike, or north of torches, or whatever we want to call it. The chest. Nice hammer and pendant pod. Disgusting. Thank you, Pichu. Well, that big key in Meyer is going to be really good for Gylgamesh, because that's a great spot for them to just grab it and go to the boss and not get sucked into a very deep clear of this dungeon. The hammer being in the dark new room of pod for Keaton, once they get over there, most likely they're going to do the entire front before they just get back to the back, so that is going to be a little bit of a time sink. The question now is, how much does Gylgamesh clear before getting back to that ice rod? That hopefully... or I guess maybe not hopefully, but that Keaton won't have to do. And you know, if they decide not to dive hammerless ice, it'll be a go mode ice for them if and when they get there. Luckily for Keaton, the hammer locks out TR, so they're not going to get pulled into there frivolously, but they may go up to the mountain to check Hookshot Cave and stuff like we were talking about earlier. So this is kind of an interesting development to see who gets what when. It's how much the call of Pendant Pod pulls Keaton to that dungeon now. And how much Gylgamesh clears before they get back into Hera. Yeah, I could see a world where Gylgamesh full clears his dungeons, including TR, before going back into Hera. But I could also see, you know, going up to the mountain and being like, you know, if it's just here, then I don't have to clear TR and dipping into Hera for that last item. Which, with Hera Pot, will be insanely quick. So yeah, I can see both sides of the scenario. Gylgamesh deciding to use my strategy for Icebreaker of messing it up 6 times before getting it right. There we go. Yeah, and Silver is doing work, just melting Vitreous. Alright, Keaton, where do you want to go in your hammer hunt? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna come up here, check Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. I'm not against these plays. This to me sounds better than a Pendant Pod, in my opinion. It's a really unfortunate spot for that Dead Rock. Gylgamesh really showing off the execution and the experience in this mode, just cruising through Ice Palace. Alright, 8. Fire Rod bursts to the Cold Stare, 4 slashes, it's over. That simple. Gold Sword doing the work. And just like that, 5 crystals apiece for our runners at the hour mark. So yeah, clearing of the hookshot cave and the super bunny. That it's those kind of checks that don't feel like they take a long time. That if Gylgamesh commits time to, it's just time that Keaton's gonna keep getting back. The question is who goes to what pendant dungeon first. Keaton kind of deciding what they want to try to do next here. They're going to go back into the Dark World. I know they had skipped Graveyard Ledge and Graveyard Ledge earlier, so this may be trying to clean up that one-off check. Maybe deciding to go get the green pendant before they go over to the pot area, potentially. Garantu in chat bringing up a really, really good point here. Even if Gylgamesh does go in all the way through to Laser Bridge, it doesn't find the Ice Rod. They have the potential to just save the portal, go to Hera, find it, and just jump right back in. That's a great shout. Yeah, you wouldn't need to die. If you saved your portal exiting Laser Bridge, you could just jump down from the center, from the top center, and be right back on top of it. In the light world, you wouldn't need to kill yourself. Alright, Keaton saving and quitting from the catfish. We'll see what they want to go next. Their options are pretty limited, especially as far as density goes, so we'll see where they want to go from here. They really need to avoid going into Ice Palace. Nope, back to Kakariko. This might be the push for the green pendant. Yeah, wanting to couple that hopefully with a pod play, I would guess. Nice spooky there with the torch. Nope, I still don't know what I'm talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. The Talon story. Oh, match bat. And again, Silver's doing the work. Gylgamesh putting down their Vitreous. Grabbing crystal number 6. Now we'll see where they want to go. I would have to guess this is the push right into TR. Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny, into TR. I don't feel like it's an exaggeration or rude to say that the experience and execution definitely favors Gylgamesh in this scenario. So the longer that Keaton continues to put off pod, the faster that clock is very much ticking. Yep, this will be Gylgamesh checking hammer pegs and magic bat. Yep, not only wanting to go up to the mountain one time, not leaving some one-off down here. Gylgamesh on the mountain. We'll see what their next step is. Keaton checking the pyramid ledge, finding nothing. Right, this appears to be Keaton going to pod. So yeah, it's gonna need Gylgamesh to full clear TR first, because they still need to get through Ice Palace. All right, Gylgamesh, left or right? All right, Gylgamesh is going to go into TR, trust that the Ice Rod is just on vacation in its vacation home. That was redundant and senseless. there's item 1 for Gylgamesh. Keyton getting ready to head into the Dark U. It's going to find their hammer. I would expect a very quick mirror out. There we go. All right, Keyton having their go mode and recognize it will now head down to Ice Palace. We'll go mode this as fast as they can and then head up to the mountain. Gylgamesh, though, while on the clock, they have very, very little left to do. There's Spike Cave. There is a chest or an item in Hera that is the answer for them. And the rest of their checks are very, like, awful. There's the big chest in Thieves Town. There's Left Side Swamp. That might be about it. If they find the shovel, there's the shovel spot. But their options are very, very limited in what they have left. So, despite Keyton being in go mode first, it's still very much ball in Gilgamesh's court looking for this Ice Rod. Now, there are things that Keyton should not have to do. The big key in TR is on torches, so they will not have to do Lava Chest. They'll just steal a key and go. Whereas Gilgamesh has done Lava Chest. Yeah, Hera and Spike Chest being the next things for Gilgamesh would be 100% what I would expect to do. But in that, like I said, in that same vein, Gilgamesh is going to do Mimics. Keyton will not, hopefully. Keyton and Ice Palace hitting the switch, setting up for their Icebreaker. So yeah, this is still a race that could very much come down to GT routing. Zeruvian, very proud to see that arrow in Mimic Cave, I'm sure. There, Keyton gets it. Yep, and just skips that chest. They recognize that they're in go mode. Keyton really doing a really good job of just burning through this go mode Ice Palace. Took a couple attempts on the Icebreaker, but not bad at all, and just able to recognize the route they needed to take to just get through all of these rooms quickly. Shout out to all my Enemizer friends who still go in that room and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just to be safe. One of the puffs getting away from Keyton there, but they're able to mop it up. Getting ready to lift up that 6th crystal as Gilgamesh rolls his eyes at Laser Bridge, I'm sure, thinking, oh no, where is this dumb thing? Alright, Gilgamesh, what are you choosing first, bud? Yeah, running down here across the mountain. This'll, I would guess it will be a Hera right away. And then right back into Laser Bridge. Yeah, and if this is just a quick Hera pot and go right back out. So Gilgamesh still firmly in the lead after they grab this Ice Rod. But Keyton definitely, on their tail, will have to open up TR and then navigate their way through it. I don't think Gilgamesh skipping this chest in the beginning is like a necessarily bad idea. The mitts gave them quite a lot. And to assume that that was what they needed and to leave with the entire world potentially being open to them after the mitts. And there's go mode for Gylgamesh. I don't think it's a bad choice. It just didn't work out this time. And they were able to make up for it, which is fine. But I'm sure they're muttering to themselves, oh, I could have go mode Ice, I could have go mode Mire, I could have go mode TR, you know, the thing that every rando runner does. You assume your opponent made all the right decisions. But yeah, able to save that portal and jump right back down into Laser Bridge, so not really a time loss at all. Oh yeah, 100%. Gylgamesh is kicking themselves a little bit. You know, what I could have done. This was such a jetter, yada yada. Sub 110, etc. So, but it's all said and done at the end of the wash. Gylgamesh is about a TR ahead. Yeah, nothing beats Ice Rod go mode when you could have had the Ice Rod like 12 or 15 minutes in. All right, let's get the formalities out of the way, chat. They are a potentially somewhat number of checks in GT that the key can be in. Put numbers if you wish. If you don't, that's fine. Go crazy. Put letters if you want. Batman symbol. Whatever you need. But where is the big key of GT? Little 300 on Trinix, and that's crystal number 7 for Gylgamesh. Couple top left rando rooms. Nice. I like. Shinmaru, your answer is blank. I don't know if you meant to do that. That's weird. Listen, Shin, what are the odds of it happening twice when I'm commentating? In a row. How long does TR usually take to clear? TR has a lot that you have to go through. There's very little that you can skip as far as, you know, rooms you can pass out of. There's some things you can do. You know, you can steal the Poke Key if you're in go mode, so you can skip lava chests. You can choose not to go out and around for the big chest, but for the most part, you're going through most of this dungeon. All right, Gylgamesh starting with Hope Room. Get the small key. They're gonna keep... Okay, yeah, they're gonna keep going right. I know with some modes there was like weirdness with where the big key could and could not be, as far as Bob chests in Armos, or after Armos. So finding a small key here and choosing just to do the right side right away and then go full left makes a lot of sense to me. There was talk about it being fixed and then, you know, not fixed until after groups and whatever all. I'm just of the opinion it's fine. You've got a small key, just do right side. All right, not 1 through 6. Grabs a small key, mirrors back to the front, and we see Keaton in Crystal Roller Room. Gets a key out of this room, so we'll be able to dodge all of Laser Bridge, so another small time save. Nice torch big key. Sure, game. That's number 7, I do believe. Alright, if Keaton chooses to go left and just get it off the torch, it'll be another small time save of having to go full right. So we will see, but it is Gylgamesh's race to lose at this point with the randomness of the game pretty much gone. It's now all execution. And I say it all the time, and I'm going to say it again now. If you want to iron out your rando or vanilla game, and you're looking for a place to put in some grind, the escape sequence and the GT climb are great places to start, because almost regardless of the mode, and there are exceptions, of course, you are going to do the GT climb a stinking lot. So putting some time in here with, you know, different equipment sets, you know, do it with just Master Sword, do it with Gold Sword, can really help shore up those seconds that lead to minutes. All right, very clean fight by Keaton there, knocking out their Tridex, get their 7th crystal, and we'll see how they want to route GT. Gylgamesh sneaking in that last slash before that second land mode, duck under the sand. Just a reminder, the restream is about a minute behind the actual race. I don't know why. Maybe it was something from the Z1 race that was going on right before this. But if you are keeping an eye on the race stream and you feel like spoiling it in the chat with the time, don't be that guy. Just don't. It's not worth it. Yeah, we're seeing Keaton going to go ahead and go Hope Room. We'll see if they want a DM route or take that small key and go right to Compass Room. And yeah, they're going to take that small key and go to Compass Room. I don't disagree with this. Like, I see the appeal. Swordless GT Climb is fun, Shinmirror. You're right. Justice for Swordless. Show me those bugnet strats on Aga too. Swords are just sharp hammers. You know what? Yeah. Sure. Answer a question in chat if you feel behind, you know, which side is better. That's kind of a loaded question, unfortunately, because key layout really matters. If there's not a small key in Hope Room and you go right, odds are if you find another small key in, like, DM Room, you're not going to go back right. You can. That's not saying you can't. But odds are you're not. So really, when it comes to GT routing, it's always best to just do what you're comfortable with. There is a little bit of, like, meta play you can do in there. I know my opponent always does Rando Rush, so I'm going to counter that, or I'm going to try to do the same thing if I think I'm ahead, etc. and so forth. But yeah, when it comes to the GT climb, and I think most runners would agree with this, find the one that you like best and just master it. You know, set yourself up for success. Clean-ish Agatune for Gylgamesh there, I guess. So they will be leaving the tower as Keaton starts their climb. Gylgamesh having Gold Sword and Silvers. Don't know if they can handle this Ganon fight. This will be pretty tight, I bet. Red Mail, 3 bottles, cape, half magic. Okay, with the warps, my guy. Settle down. This guy. Ganon just wanting all the attention. Settle down, buddy. Got them zoomies. But no silvers, my true weakness. That's a really good setup for a triple there. Oh, never mind. I'm so sorry to jinx that, bud. There's the 4th arrow. Get those GGs in chat. All right, and as they conquer the braids, our winner is Gylgamesh with a time of 1:25:11, finishing first place in this match. GG's. Hey, it's Gylgamesh. What's up?
Dude.
GG, my guy.
That was the most stressful GT I've ever had.
Ice rod,
I feel
huh?
like. Yeah, I mean, as soon as I got the ice rod, I was like, oh, crap. You could have just been hammer go mode. This feels really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we were saying that there's a world where because you did a great call on that hammer, and then you could just go mode the last 3, no problem.
Yep. As soon as I was like, man, that was like actually the worst place for the ice rod to be instead of any of the places that I skipped. So I was feeling pretty bad once I got that. And then obviously I decided to take the wrong route in GT. It was all terrible.
Well, I mean, as far as going back to it, it was probably the best place it could have been, considering you left TR, saved the portal,
yes,
and
immediately
it was
the easiest check to get. But it also was the most feels bad place of all the places I skipped, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's one of those things that, had you not had your portal and had to route TR again, this gets real tight.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I was always going to do Hera and Spike Cave first, just because those are the easiest to recover from if you're trying to portal save.
So, going into pod, you could have gone into Myra instead. Was it just, I have the red crystals, I'm betting on a silly potential hammer with Aga required, and then you had the green pendant, so you decided, I'm here, I'm just going to do it?
It was a combination of things. It was a combination of, the red crystals were really early, which is a little suspicious. I have the green pendant, and also pod takes a bazillion years to get back to you with only MITS access, so I'm here, I should do it.
Yeah. Don't disagree. Yeah,
and there's only 2 items, and like it's potentially you're gonna skip one of them anyway if it's in cutscene chest. So pod was the most dense location at that point, other than potentially going back up on the mountain. But that was another one where it's like I don't really want to go up there because I don't have the hammer, so I can't get into TR, which I would have done had I could have gone up there. So
really strong Aga 2 fight from Keaton there as they get ready to fly off to go get their Ganon fight. Yeah, Seed was pretty generous early on. Lots of early activity. Yeah. Nice mirror, chest 1.
Yeah, no kidding. I was like, oh, nice jet seed. No, not quite.
Yeah,
seemed like it early on.
Way to smash that sub 5 escape, bud.
Yeah, huge crush.
I think it was like a 414 or something outrageous.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Flexing on him.
Uh-huh. Only took a mirror to to finally get a sub 5.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It counts in my book. Yeah, so what it really came down to overall was there were some extra things that you had done extra, quote-unquote, like beating Green Pendant Moth as you went into Dark World, going immediately over to check Graveyard Ledge. And some of those things Keaton did not do. And so, like, he was the first one to beat blind. They were the first one to beat blind. But you had gotten that out of logic glove off Zora Ledge, where that was their mitts. And they dipped into desert, well, you were able to dip into desert and beat it. So there's like these little things, like, kind of separated you going into Dark World. But then got caught up like they were skipping stuff that you weren't. So it was a really, honestly, an even race. You guys did a lot of the very similar things. And then out of Swamp Palace, you did the big bomb, and Keaton went to Mire because they hadn't beaten Desert yet.
Sure.
So they grouped all that together. So you got that hammer, and it was very much, okay, who goes to that dumb pendant location first?
Right. Yeah, no, I felt like, I was like, yep, I kind of full cleared the seed, but also I felt like I full cleared it pretty efficiently. So I think that ended up working out in my favor. Like, yeah, I definitely did a lot of checks that you didn't need to do, but I also never had to go back for anything other than the ice rod in Hera. But that's besides the point. I was really thinking about going for the second item when I got those myths, but
yeah,
I was
they did.
Yeah. It's like, it's probably just in the big chest anyway, and I don't want to do Tile Room, and Rune Pearl's just going to be in East Death Mountain, and nah.
Yeah.
Surely there won't be 2 required items in Pendant Hera.
Get those GGs in chat for Keaton. 1:30:13 crossing the finish line. Great race. They did a very, very good job. Let's see if they want to come hang out for a little bit. They do. And we welcome Keaton into the commentary booth. Hello, GG. Psych.
Just kidding.
Don't be afraid of the commentary. We won't hurt you.
Listen, my microphone's been messed up recently too. Maybe it's spreading.
If you're in danger, blink twice. Okay, Keaton, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you. So I'm going to keep talking for a little bit longer and hoping you get that figured out.
Well, keep talking.
All right, then. So, Gylgamesh, this was your last group race, right? You've got them all finished now.
Yes, I wanted to try to get them done as early as possible, so they
Feeling
are done.
pretty good.
I get
5-1, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, 6-0 would have been wonderful, but we'll take a 5-1, no complaints.
And then, yeah, you get a rest up for probably a couple weeks now, I assume.
Week and a half, yeah. I just get to sit back and do comms now, which is, way more fun than playing the game.
I would agree, honestly.
Sometimes, yeah.
A better talker than runner.
It's a lot less stressful, that's for sure.
But I've not been watching other groups that closely. The rest of your group kind of still in the mix in the middle, I assume?
No, I think it's set now. I think I am in first, and TT Chaos will be in second, regardless of how the last couple races shake out.
Oh, okay.
Group F, all set.
Well, Keaton, I don't want to just...
Hello?
Hey, there we are. Hey, hello, GG's.
Hey, there we go. For some reason, my other mic's not working right now, but yeah, GG's.
GG's.
Good seed. That was a fun one.
It was sweaty, but I was sweating it at the end. I was telling Talon I was not happy about, because I was go mode ice rod, and when I got it, I was like, oh no, you could have had that way earlier.
And I did. I had that way early. My go mode item was hammer.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about mostly. I was like, oh man, if you get go mode hammer, like you can potentially just go mode a bunch of dungeons and not skip a bunch of crap that I did.
Yes, so that's what I ended up doing was I pretty much go moded swamp because I knew it was like, okay, well because it was hammer locked, so I'm like, okay, I'll do swamp just to see if I could get the other medallion. Then I got all 3 medallions. So I'm like, okay, well, it's definitely not a medallion problem, so I'll do misery and do. So I skipped cutscene chest and misery and try to just do what I can to skip as much as I can because you're such a good runner. So it's like, okay, I gotta So I'm trying to figure. But once I got the ice rod, I actually felt pretty good with myself because it's like, okay, I think this could be something he might skip. But given the location of being at Tower Hera, I could see you doing Turtle Rock. I don't know if you did that. If you cleared almost Turtle Rock and then sloped out, did the one check in Tower
That's
Hera, and then went
how it
back.
went. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that if it was for somewhere else, I probably would have been much more. Be like, all right, she's gonna have to work for this one.
Yeah.
But no, I did like the seed. So it was
Yeah, it was
looking at the
interesting. There's a lot of stuff early on, which gave you a ton of options going into Dark World. So you could have routed this a bunch of different ways.
There was a part of me that's like, do I just climb the tower because I have everything in this moon pearl on the pyramid? And then I was really thinking about it until I got my first glove, and then it's like, okay, well, and I got the flippers, and that's when I was like, oh, I could do all those flipper checks. And then when I saw the second glove, I'm like, well, that opens up that one chicken mire or a checkerboard chest. I'm like,
Yes, the classic
Might as
pearl
well.
in checkerboard. Yep.
I as well check checkerboard chest. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not sure if I'm feeling relieved or not, knowing that pearl is there. I'm like, this is like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think I only had like 3 checks left at that point. It was either that King's Tomb or Hobo I hadn't checked at that point. So yeah, those are the only 3 I had left once I got my mitts and cleared off the mountain.
Yeah. Like, but yeah. No, it was a good seed. Definitely wish you look in the brackets for it. Because are you done? I think I heard you're done now, or?
Yeah, this was my last race, so I am done with group races.
Yay. So I got one more with TT Chaos on. I believe we're going to run on Sunday, and time hasn't been confirmed yet, but we'll somewhere between his time because he's I believe in Europe.
Yeah.
So it'll be another casual boots race since I get to pick it, and hopefully I could get at least one victory in the
good luck.
round robin. But either way, I'm really enjoying the experience I'm getting on the tournament. It's so much fun. Just trying different seeds and then trying to be aggressive and just really enjoying it.
Yeah,
are you looking?
Glad you're enjoying your rando experience. I really encourage you to watch this race back on the VOD, and don't pay attention to the time. But there were several times in this race where you were ahead or finishing dungeons ahead of Gylgamesh because there were things that you had decided to do, like getting the extra check out of Hera, and then skipping some other stuff, like you didn't beat Modula, you didn't go check Graveyard Ledge right away, and kind of routed down in the swamp in a good route. And so I don't think it's unfair to say that Gylgamesh definitely has an experience edge. They've obviously been playing a little bit longer. But the things that you chose to skip and how you chose to route did keep you into it. It's when you got on that hammer hunt that you went back and did Graveyard Ledge. There were some indecisions about where to flute to go to next. And that just kept bleeding time. And it seemed like you were a little hesitant to go into pod potentially for the hammer to echo something that was mentioned in chat. Thank you, Zax. Was there a part of you that was like, it's just not the easiest to get to pod, so I don't want to go over there, so I'm going to do this one-off stuff? Or is it just, it's a pendant, I don't want to fool with that? Was there a reason?
I think that might have been more that, and the fact that pod was not necessarily the easiest way to get to. I think my best opportunity to go to pod was probably when I did the catfish check, and then just kept going right way down. I think that's one thing I should have done. Because I know I hesitated and I was trying to figure out, I think at that point, just what to do there. And because I think part of me was looking at the 2 crystals, red crystals, and I'm like, is that in logic? And then the more I kind of thought about it, I'm like, no, it's not. and because my tracker says there's a big red thing on it, so I'm like, okay, it's not in logic. So I think that's why originally I was thinking about that, but no, for sure. That's I think pod was just maybe because it was a pendant. I'm like, okay, well, there's at least 7 checks on mountain that I could check, which I mean, anytime checking a pendant, it's always kind of like, oh, so I want to do this, and how much time do I want to divulge into it? But yeah, I guess being one go mode, one night on the go mode, that probably would have made more sense to like just do that compared to some of the other checks I've done.
Yeah, and I don't think it was something that you're like, oh, it was a bad idea. I mean, especially when it comes to rando affairs, what you chose and whether it worked out or not. It's not so much a bad choice. Some are more informed than others. To reflect on something you were saying, the Pyramid Ferry was in logic because you could have gone through Aga, which would have opened up a portal at Hyrule Castle, so you could have gotten the bomb, mirrored, walked to the Hyrule Castle entrance, which is a portal that would have put you in front of the pyramid, and then dropped the bomb off. So it was possible the hammer was just in Pyramid Ferry. Gylgamesh did a very impressive water deep with the bomb.
I've never had a hammer in Pyramid Ferry seed. I really wanted this to finally be it.
It was in chat pretty heavy, I think. There was some it could be a thing. But yeah, it was not to be on this one. But yeah, your thinking was it could have been. But yeah, any final thoughts?
No. Just thank you for the community. Great run again, Gil. Looking forward to see how you do in this tournament. I'll definitely be cheering for you, and definitely will be continue playing. This is fun. I really enjoyed the. So I'll also definitely be volunteering to commentate or track in the future.
Yeah, shout outs to Talon for jumping in on comms after I was whining that nobody signed up for comms for this.
Thank you, Talon.
I got you guys. It's always my pleasure to commentate, and I would actually 100% encourage you, Keaton, and anyone else in chat that's listening, if this is something that you enjoyed watching it, and you're thinking, how can I help and get more involved, or I want to learn more about this rando thing, watch the races, join the Discord for the main tournament, sign up as a volunteer to track, or to do some commentary and jump in the commentary booth with another experienced runner. You'd be amazed the tricks you can pick up, or the routes you can learn, or just the things discussed can just proc ideas later. Oh, I remember that. I'm going to try that on my next run. Absolutely. Come to the Discord and sign up. We'll be happy to help you. Gil, last thoughts?
I wasn't prepared for this. I got nothing.
Any shout outs to potential people in brackets you want to see? Or dodge?
I mean, I haven't even really looked at the other groups, so I don't know who's going to be in brackets. I will just, I'll see Gamma in the finals again, and we'll leave it at that.
You heard it here first, folks. The hot take we've all been waiting for.
That would be a good final, so I would look forward to seeing that.
It was not good It was not good last year, so.
Well, this year's your redemption. You gotta just take them down.
Maybe.
You can.
This is Rocky 2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, GG's everyone.
Yeah, GG's to our runners. Thank you so much. Be sure to check them out. Give them a follow if you liked what you saw. And yeah, shout out to our tracker, Danny. Really appreciate you doing the hard work so I don't have to. I'm Talon116. If you're interested in more, link to the past randomizer. Keep an eye on all the Speed Gaming channels as the main tournament groups are in full swing. Currently, there are games on SG2, SG3, and SG Prime. So yeah, why don't you just go ahead and jump into one of those, tell them we said hey, and enjoy some more rando. I'm Talon116. That's it for me for tonight. So thanks, everyone. We're out.